All right. Welcome everybody to this video. We've got here the lovely Gary King from Tendo.
Hi.
Hi, Gary. Thanks for joining me today, Gary. Gary's going to talk to us all about how he's using his own diagnostic tool in his business. So without me sort of spending too much time with an intro, Gary, do you want to just quickly introduce yourself and what you do at Tendo and some of the cool things that you're up to?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and thank you for the opportunity this morning. So Tendo is 9 years old now, and we offer business mentoring and strategy advice to small business owners that are looking to take themselves and their business to the next level. So effectively, there are approaching 6 million small business owners in the UK, but there's a very, very high failure rate. It's 95% of those small businesses are going to fail at some point, and that is a statistic that breaks my heart, really. And one of the reasons I got into doing what I do is I want to move the dial as far as the failure stats are concerned in the UK. If I can just help a handful of those small business owners that are doomed to failure to not fail, then I'm serving my purpose in life. So we're all about helping those small business owners succeed at a higher rate than they currently are doing.
Amazing.
We've got a number of different products and services. So we start with a boot camp at 49 quid for a full day's training, which is an absolute and utter no-brainer. And we go through various steps of a process depending on how much support people want, when they need it, how they need it, how much they're prepared to invest and what return they want. So we go through from a 49 quid boot camp right through to some high ticket price one-to-one work.
Yeah. Nice one.
Yeah. So that's us and what we do. It's all about helping those small business owners succeed at a higher rate than they're currently doing.
That's fantastic because that stat is ridiculously high and it's quite frightening, to be honest.
Crazy.
That's amazing. So good on you. Now let's talk about your diagnostic tool, which I know you've been using for a little while now.
Yeah.
In the first place, why did you originally want a diagnostic tool, and what did you want to get out of it?
I think the challenge in today's environment is there's approaching 30,000 coaches, mentors, and consultants in the UK. So there's a lot of so-called experts out there, but there's also a lot of business owners that are failing. So for me, that diagnostic was a very, very strong call to action on the homepage of my website. So if somebody visits my website, rather than read the verbiage about how we could help or what the issues might be or whatever, I wanted them to just take a very, very simple quiz to help them self-assess what it is that's holding them back. Because the challenge for small business owners is they don't know what they don't know.
Yep.
And often they don't know what's holding them back. What they think is holding them back isn't actually what's holding them back. It's something else. Because everything's interlinked and everything's related, they start to make assumptions that, why am I running out of cash? Well, actually you're running out of cash because your pipeline's dry or you're overspending. So some are causes and some are symptoms. So the idea for me was that there was a very strong call to action on the homepage of my website that somebody could take at their own leisure. They didn't need to speak to me or for me to be on the end of a phone. And it would just literally 5 minutes and it spits out a result and tells them what's holding them back and where they need to get started.
Yep.
It really was no more complicated than that.
Nice and simple. I like it. And can you just, for those who haven't seen your diagnostic tool, could you just quickly explain some of the questions, you don't have to say the exact wording, but the type of questions that you wanted to include and why you wanted to include?
Well, I'll talk about the answers more than the questions.
Yep.
So effectively, we've got 8 questions in the quiz. And there are 4 areas that small business owners are being held back. One is they're building the wrong business. So they're doing something they're not passionate about, don't love anymore, and it isn't giving them what they want. The second one is they don't have financial freedom. So they're not earning enough money to be able to invest in themselves, so they can't take money out to have the lifestyle they want. They can't invest in systems, people, or marketing. The third one is they're not building a dream team. And if they're not building a dream team, it means that they are working excessive hours. And the fourth element is they don't have choice. So they're trapped by their business. So effectively, we've got 4 sets of 2 questions, so 8 questions in total. So the first 2 questions talk about, are you building the right business? The second 2 talk about financial freedom. The third 2 questions talk about building a dream team. And the fourth 2 questions talk about choice. So dependent on how they answer, where they are now versus where they want to be on the first 2, second 2, and so on and so forth questions, it tells them, based on the biggest deficit of where they are versus where they want to be, whether it's cash, whether it's team, whether it's choice, or whether it's building the right business that's holding them back. So it tells them which of those 4 areas is their problem, and therefore where they need to get started to resolve that.
Nice. So let's talk about that in terms of the actual scores and results. How do you then go and use these sort of scores with these people that fill it in? So these potential clients, either right after they fill it in, or once they book a call with you or have a meeting with you.
Well, there's 2 types. There's 2 times that people fill this in. So I push the quiz out on social media and just talk to people that are feeling trapped, feeling overwhelmed, feeling that they are really struggling to make those next strides forward. And I direct those people to the quiz on the website for them to take that diagnosis. And what that does is it gives them that answer in exchange for their email address. And then we've set up a nurture campaign through our CRM system that starts to build a rapport and build a relationship with them and take them through a process to start to talk about some of the solutions that are available to them. So they're people that just come in through the social media network and people that I've bumped into when I'm out and about doing my work, and they jump on my website. The second way that I use it is, for example, somebody may refer me to a business owner that needs some help. And I will have a coffee with that person. I will have a call with that person in the first instance, just to understand what it is they think is holding them back, what the impact of that is. So it might be that, they didn't hit their sales and profit figures in 2018. And as a result, they're really struggling to see how they're going to get the results they want in 2019. So they're talking to me about a problem and a pain in their business. They're talking to me about the impact of that, so how it's making them feel. And in that 15-minute call, I identify whether they are in the right space to get some help. And if they are, I say, well, look, we really should grab a coffee and chat in more detail. Before I meet them for that coffee, I send them a link to the quiz. And I say, look, in order to assist our conversation when we meet next Monday, to get us super focused and to start to discuss the things that we know are holding you back, can you just take this 5-minute quiz? So what they do is they take that 5-minute quiz a day or 2 before we meet. It gives them a set of results of how they've scored on each of those 8 criteria. And it gives me a summary so that when we meet, we know exactly where we need to start that discussion.
And do you find that the discussion you then have is sort of, for use of a better word, easier or more honed in or better quality?
It's absolutely honed in, because rather than talking very generically about what they think is holding them back, we're saying, look, what this says here is you're not earning enough money to invest in people, systems and marketing, and you're not earning enough money to take a higher dividend out of the business and enjoy your lifestyle. And if that's their biggest issue, I can say, right, do you need some help sorting that issue out? It absolutely gets us super focused in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, amazing.
So that is perfect for that result.
Amazing. And just quickly, you talked about obviously your nurturing campaigns. So you're nurturing the people after they fill in the quiz, they're coming from social media or wherever it might be, filling in the quiz and going onto your database.
Yeah.
What sort of emails do you include in the nurturing campaign? Like, do you constantly give away more value, or is it constantly now just as soon as they fill in the quiz, you start to try to sell them on all the services, or what do you do there?
Yeah, well, look, I think the first step of the process is 4 different answers that can come out. So, Are they building the right business? Do they have financial freedom? Are they building a dream team? Do they have choice? So, what the tool does is it identifies which of those 4 criteria is holding them back. So, what it then does is it tags them in the CRM system. We've got 4 different nurture campaigns effectively. Now, it's actually the same nurture campaign, apart from the first couple of emails. So let's say they go down the nurture campaign of building the wrong business. So we know if they're building the wrong business, that they've really not got their purpose dialed in. So there's a 7-step nurture campaign, and the first 6 steps are all adding more value, building more credibility, building more relationship. There is no sales process at all until there's a call to action in the 7th email.
Nice.
So if they sign up and do the quiz and they're building the wrong business, the first email it sends them, other than thank you for taking the quiz, we're looking to add more value to you, we're looking to help you with your problems, you're in the right place because I've got 30 years of experience and. So we're trying to build credibility and empathize with them that they're in the right place.
Yeah.
The second email sends them then a video that they can download, which says, this is why purpose is important to help you build the right business. These are the 5 elements of purpose. And in that video, it explains what those 5 elements are. Then the download document is then a tool that they can fill in for them to articulate their 5 elements of purpose. Mm-hmm. Then it goes on to, you might want to join our online community of business owners, and there you can tackle some more of your problems, you can build relationships, and you can celebrate your success. If, for example, they don't have financial freedom when they take the quiz, the second email sends them a financial freedom calculator. So that's a tool that they can fill in that enables them to identify how much money they need to earn every month to have their dream lifestyle. So the first piece of content we send them in the nurture campaign is different depending on how they're tagged. Then it jumps into the rest of the sequence, which is all the same. But the first 6 steps of the process are all about adding more value, building trust, building relationship, developing empathy, and just making sure they feel comfortable that they're in the right place.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's really cool, Gary. I think a lot of people listening are going to get some really, really good insights from all of this. So if people are interested in what you guys do, because I know your boot camps are amazing and your one-to-one work is obviously really high quality. How can people, apart from, of course, filling in your diagnostic tool and finding out which area they're struggling in, what should people do if they want to sort of get in touch or find out more about yourself?
Well, there's 2 areas to connect. So my website is tendo-uk.com, and there's about 3 or 4 call to actions for the quiz on the homepage, so you really cannot miss it. But you know that the website talks about why we do what we do, the kind of ways that we do it, and why they're in the right place. So there's a call to action on the homepage, tendo-uk.com. I run 2 other businesses outside of Tendo, and we're going to be putting the quiz in place for both of those over the next few months. But the amalgam of those 3 businesses, we've built an online platform on Facebook called Business Squad. It's a group called Business Squad. And that is effectively now a group of 1,500 small business owners and leaders that enable you to build relationships, high quality relationships. It enables you to put some of your issues to the rest of Business Squad, and they'll help you tackle your issues, point you in the right direction, offer you advice. But it also is a place where you can celebrate your success, because often it's lonely in business, right? So when you've got that achievement, when you've landed that stellar client, put your prices up, got rid of that pain in the ass client, it's a place where you want to say, hey, everybody, I just want to share some news with you, and people will celebrate and reward and so on and so forth. So either my website or the online Facebook group Business Squad would be perfect.
Amazing. And I'll make sure that those 2 links are available underneath this video as well, so you guys can all get it. Gary, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
It's been amazing and super insightful. Really appreciate your time, mate.
No problems, and thank you for your help. It's been a pleasure working with you, and I'm looking forward to the next steps on the other 2 businesses.
Absolutely. Thanks, mate.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.